January, week 1, math, 3rd grade, lesson 1. It's a sort of a mini lesson on rounding. You already did the first 2 sheets, and now this is the last 2, and we'll do it together. Miguel has 68 crayons. About how many crayons does he have? Describe the strategy you used to round. Who would like to try this? Anybody, or shall I do it?
You.
Okay. We've been gone for 2 weeks. I get it. And this is review. We did it before the break, but it's been 2 weeks. So the first thing I would do is I would go, this number doesn't go into the hundreds, so they must want me to round to the closest 10. So I'm going to go like this. Units, tens, and put an arrow above that 6. I'm going to look to the right, and what do I see?
An 8.
An 8. So that 6 is going to go up. Remember, anything past 5, 5 and up, then the rounding place goes up. So about, I'm going to change the 6 to a 7, and then everything else becomes 0. My strategy. I found the rounding spot. And I'm going to call that the tens. I looked to the right. It was 8. So, and now instead of writing I went up, I'm going to be very naughty and just do this. Okay, which is a big cheat. But you all know what that means. If you were in a test, though, I would not suggest you do that. If in a test, I would actually probably write every word. But I'm not in a test, am I? So what in a test you would probably write, so I rounded the 6 to a 7. But we're cheating.
Yeah, I wrote 10 2 times.
After right.
I found the 10s 10.
And then it was 8, so what do you guys think that arrow means?
So I looked up.
I went up. Okay, let's do number 5. Look at each set of numbers. For which set can all of the numbers be rounded to 100? Mark all that apply. Oh my, do you guys remember this one? Okay. A, 52, 68, and 81.
No. Yes. Yes. No.
If we're doing to the closest 100, you would go units, tens, hundreds, and there's an 8 next to it, so that would go up to 100. Units, tens, hundreds, there's a 6 next to it, that would go up to 100. Now let's try the 52. Units, tens, hundreds, there's a 5 next to it, so that would go up. Those of you that said yes, that's correct. Go ahead and circle the colored above.
Oh, they're at my house.
Okay, the next one. What do you guys think?
Yeah. No.
No, because that very first one is 49, and I'm going to go units, tens, hundreds, and there's a 4 next to it. So I would go down. Right? So that one we're not going to choose. Ready for the next one? Units, tens, hundreds, there's a 1 with a 3 next to it. Does the 1 stay the same? Yes. Let's do the next one. Units, tens, hundreds, there's a 1 again, with a 1 next to it.
No.
Nothing happens to the 1, right? It stays. Last one. Units, tens, hundreds, there's nothing there, but there's a 9 next to it. Would it go up to 100? Yes, you would change that nothing to a 1. So C is good. D. What do you guys think?
No.
Ooh, Gideon, you are good. Everybody, D. I'm going to go to this last one. Ready? Watch. Units, tens, hundreds. There's a 1. But what's next to it? A 5. So the 1 would change and go up to a 2. We cannot pick that one. Okay? E. What do you guys think?
Yes.
Ooh, all right, let's do it. Units, tens, hundreds. The 1 would stay the same because there's a 3 next to it. Units, tens, hundreds. The 1 would stay the same again because there's a 3 next to it again. Units, tens, hundreds, and a 1 again. And it stays the same again because there's a 2 next to it. You guys are right. This is good. Shh, Anna. F. What do you guys think? No, all because of the last one, right? We're going to go units, tens, hundreds. It's a 1. But what's next to it? A 6. So the 1 would go up and become a 2. We can't do F. Okay. Number 6. Mrs. Hoy has a sheep farm. To the nearest 100, she has about 500 sheep. To the nearest 10, she has about 540 sheep. How many could she have? Circle the number that makes the statement. Let's try that first one. Definitely that one, if we did it to the closest 100, would be 500, right? Look at it, it's 505. But what if we rounded that one to the nearest 10? Ready? Let's try it. Units, tens. There's a 0. What's next to it? A 5. What's going to happen to that 0? It's going to become a 1. So to the nearest 10, that's going to happen. So that one doesn't work, does it? What about that middle one? Grayson thinks that one's good. You like that one? Let's try it. Units, tens, hundreds. It's 5, but look to the right of it. It's a 3, so would it stay the same? Yes. So that one's good for to the closest 100 part. It said to the closest 100 she is 500, and that's good. Let's try it for the closest 10. I'm going to choose red this time. Units, tens. It's a 3. Look to the right. It's a 5. What would happen to the 3?
It go down. I mean up.
It would go up, and it would change to a 4. So to the closest 10, that one is 540. You're right, that's the one we want. Circle the middle number. And do you guys remember this weird sign? Griffin, you've watched the lessons, and so you've heard me talk about this sign. It means is almost equal to. We use that sign when we're rounding.
Yeah, I mean it's basically like they're trying to be equal, but then like it's above.
It's a little bit different. But basically, like just a little off.
It's like 5 off.
Let's go to the next page. Yeah, sometimes when it's 5 off, we change it, right? But that sign just means some stuff is similar. Round each number to the nearest 10 and draw a line to the rounded number. So, who wants to do one? Who wants to do it? Grayson. We're going to go units, tens. It's a 1, but look to the right. There's a 5. So is that 1 going to stay or change? Change. So it would become a 2, wouldn't it? So which of these numbers do we pick?
20.
The 20. Who would like to do B?
Okay, the work
Gage.
is so units 10 to the sixes is a 6. So the 2 would move up to 3.
All right. Excellent. Did you guys hear him talking that through? He did great, didn't he? So he said this one will go up to 30. C. Ruben.
It would go to 10.
Nice. So you probably went units, tens. You looked to the right, it was a 4. So that 1 in the 10 stays the same. It would go to 10. He's correct. And then the last one, obviously, we're just going to connect them. Okay, 8. Josie counted the stickers in each of her sticker books. She rounded the number to the nearest 100. Write an X to show if the number can be rounded to 100 or 200. 148. Who wants to do that one? Gage. Speak louder.
Units, tens, hundreds. The 4 is the hundreds is a 1, and the tens is a 4. So the 1 I think would go up, or would it stay the same?
It would stay the same because the 4 won't push it up, right? So where are we going to put our X? Under 100 or 200?
100.
Yes. This one, 100. Okay, who wants to do the next one? Griffin, how about you? You haven't had a turn yet. Can you do one? Okay.
4, 5.
So we're going to go units,
I can't get it plugged in.
tens, and then an arrow on the hundreds. And now tell us about that 5.
So there's a 5 next to the 1. So 1 change.
Good. What does it become? A 2. So where's our X going to go?
A 2.
Under 200. Okay. Who wants to do the next one? Silas, try it. So speak as loud as you can.
To the hundreds.
We'll first go units,
The units, tens, and that's the hundreds. So make a arrow to the hundreds. And when you look to the right, it's a 4. So the number stays the same.
so 1 stays the same. Okay.
100.
X goes here. All right. Last one. Gideon. You have a turn. Is it okay if you have a turn? Try it.
Yes.
Yeah, but walk us through it. Don't just walk us through it. Pretend you're the teacher.
So there's 1, so there's a 1, and right to the right of it, there's a 5, so the 1 will grow into a 2.
All right. This one would become 200. Okay, we're on our last one. Eli has about 290 coins. Could he have the number of coins shown? Select yes or no. Could he have 286? Yes, that's definitely. Look, guys, units, tens, hundreds. Actually, wait. We just want to go to the tens. So, units, tens. Look to the right, it's a 6. That 8 is going to change and become a 9. So that one's a yes. B, 294.
Nope.
No. Yes.
Griffin's right. Go units and then put an arrow on that 9 in the tens. Look to the right, it's a 4. Does the 9 change?
Yes. No.
No. So that one would become 290. The 9 would stay. Okay, so that's another yes. C, 281.
False.
That one's not going to work. Look, units, tens, it's an 8. It's got a 1 next to it to the right. It's going to stay as an 8, and it would become 280. So that's false. That's a no. Last one, 300.
No.
No, there's no way that's going to round down to 290, all right? You've got units, tens, it's a 0. Look to the right, it's a 0. Nothing's going to change. All right. You guys did pretty good. Rounding is one of the harder things, I think, to learn. And I didn't know, I couldn't do it until I was much older than you. We only learned it when I was in middle school.
Whoa.
So
You're
you
the
should be
smartest
pretty
kid
proud of
alive.
yourselves. Yeah.
My mom went to a Montessori